Hello and welcome back to another video on Respect and to another edition of NXT Out of 10. And yeah, big show today. We're still kind of falling out from Halloween Havoc a few weeks ago. And yeah, we got NXT Deadline coming up in a wee while. So yeah, kind of just building up to that. But yeah, like I said, big show today. So let's get straight into it. And the champ kicks off the show. Bron Breakker was out and congratulated the winner of Halloween Havoc. Mainly Wesley and Julius Creed. Pretty Deadly showed up and made fun of Bron, saying that they wanted more of the spotlight. Bron told them that if they wanted more attention, they shouldn't be backstage combing their hair for 3 hours every night. Wesley then came out as well, and after a bit of arguing, Lee and Bron booked a tag match against the Deadly for later on tonight. And yeah, it seemed like that maybe was turned into a tag team title match. But I mean, like, a bit of a weird start to the show. Kind of setting up falling out from Halloween Havoc. Yeah, a bit of a weird show to sing, but yeah, I think just kind of led to a show long angle. But yeah, like I say, moving on then to Grayson Waller versus R-Truth. Waller was taunting Truth early on and yelled this was his house before taking him down with a kick and unloading on him. Truth got a headlock in before Waller broke out and did the John Cena "you can't see any gestures" and mock him. Truth then got some big moves in before it was taken down with a botched top Gonjero, where his legs caught the top rope and he fell down. Truth was then being checked in the ring as Waller ran his mouth in the ring. The referee had to call the match off eventually, with Truth not being able to continue. So yeah, obviously not great stuff, and yeah, not going to grade it. Just all I'll say is hope Truth gets well soon, because yeah, it's just an unfortunate injury really. But anyway, the Schism were backstage, and newest member Ava Raines said that she joined the group because Joe Gacy was the only one who checked on her regularly after serious injury during training. They then brought up a tweet Cameron Grimes made about Schism brainwashing Ava. She said that she would get revenge on Grimes and make an example out of him. Yeah, I mean, like, this stuff keeps on going, really, doesn't it? Not bad. Ava Raine, I don't know, I'm not convinced by this, but I'll just give it a bit of time to see how she does it, because obviously, for obvious reasons, lots of attention on her at the moment. But anyway, Zoe Stark and Indy Hartwell got into an argument backstage and set up a match for later in the show. Before Chase U were preparing for a match, but Thea Hale, but Bodie was not there to carry the flag with them. Duke Hudson tore through the wall and said that he would be the one to carry the Chase U flag as NXT moved on, obviously because Bodie's been released, which is a bit of a shame. But yeah, Thea Hale versus Kiana James was up next. Hale was in trouble early on and James got a takedown and went after Hale's arm before getting a near fall off a cover. James got a few stunts but took a clothesline before Hale made the comeback with a clothesline and a splash in the corner. Hale then hit a crossbody from the top rope, but James caught her and rolled her for a near fall. James then hit a modified flatliner for a near fall, but Duke Hudson put Thea's leg on the bottom rope to break it. Chase was furious and distraction sent Duke backstage. Chase then caught Thea with a chokehold on the bottom rope before hitting her flatliner finisher for the victory. After the match, Charlie Dempsey attacked Andre Chase in the ring. Duke Hudson rushed out and took Dempsey down and rescued Chase before helping Hale up to her feet. And yeah, bit of a weird segment this. All times are timed in nicely, I suppose. So yeah, I don't know, the match wasn't that good to me, just kind of felt there. I'm going to give it a 5 out of 10, but yeah, I can see there why there were people that did kind of like this segment more than me. It was then time for Odyssey Jones versus Javier Burnout. Jones was in control early before Burnout managed to ground him and get some elbow drops on the shoulder. James fought out of it before getting a big slam and a devastating clothesline, and then got a massive slash in the corner before getting a bossman slam for the easy victory. And just 6 out of 10, kind of just a squash match here. For Odyssey Jones, just kind of re-establishing. I don't feel like we've seen too much of him recently, but yeah, I mean, like, this is kind of all just about getting him over, obviously, with injuries and stuff that he's had going on with him. So yeah, no issues with this. Bit of a shame it had to be Javi over now, because you know, I don't dislike the guy, so yeah, bit of a shame. But anyway, Toxic Attraction were out next to celebrate Mandy Rose's record-breaking title reign. Gigi and JC spoke about how great Mandy was and showed us a package celebrating her reign. Mandy said that she was always overlooked for being attractive, and thanks to Gigi and Jane, she has proven herself repeatedly. Smoke appeared on the Triton Chant and Toxic Attraction were attacked by Alba Fire. Alba took Mandy and Co down before Rose and Jane fled the ring. Dolene was caught by Alba, who sent her through a table in the ring. Fire then talked about taking out Jane next week, and in 2 weeks she said that she will take Mandy's title too. So yeah, seems like that feud continuing. I thought maybe that would be the end, but you know, one more match, wouldn't be opposed to it. Kind of normal match this time without cinematic, but we'll see. Backstage, Apollo Crews said that Breakker was ducking him before Von Wagner came in and said that he would be a future NXT champion. We then got another mysterious call to the Performance Center before we headed for a next match, which was Indy Hartwell versus Zoe Stark. Stark was in control. We got some malfunctioning of the lights, possibly for the 3rd time tonight, potentially teasing a new character. Indy sent Stark out of the ring with a tackle before we headed for a break. Stark was on the ropes after he broke an indie big kick to the head before getting near fall. Zoe came back with a knee to the head before getting a big springboard move for a new fall. Stark nearly snapped and unloaded on Indy in the corner before taking her outside and nearly put her through the announcer's desk. Nikita Lyons was at ringside and stopped Stark from getting the DQ before they headed back to the ring. Hartwell got a big beat off the stretch and picked up the victory. And Jen gets a 6 out of 10 from me. Decent enough match. Good win for Indy Hartwell, kind of building her up at the moment as well. So yeah, 6 out of 10 from me. Solid enough stuff. It was then time for Cora J versus Valentina Ferros. Jade Thompson Ferros early on and slapped her in the face before Ferros came back with Meteor before kicking Cora out of the ring. Jade was sent into the apron before she hit a big kick. Cora then continued to trash talk throughout the match and got a 2 count off a big distraction. Ferros tried to rage Jade out but failed before landing a clothesline. Ferros missed a crossbody off the middle rope and allowed Jade to hit sentinel DDT for the victory. Jade was about to take Ferros out after the match, but Wendy Chi made a return and took Jade down, saving Ferros and chasing Cora out of the victory. But yeah, good win for Cora. I mean, like, after that loss, still wielding her up at Halloween Havoc. And yeah, setting up a new feud. So yeah, no issues with this. Before, Elektra Lopez was backstage in NXT with a New York accent and is still allied with Tony D'Angelo. Interesting. And then it was time for Pretty Deadly versus Bron Breakker and Wesley. Wilson Lee kicked off the match and Prince was tagged early. Bron was tagged in and hit a moonsault before getting a back body drop on Prince. Lee was back in and the ball broke out as we headed for a break. Back on NXT, Lee took building from Wilson before tags were made and Braun hit a double vertical suplex on the Deadly. Lee was on the top rope and Carmelo Hayes came out and dropped in Lee, letting Pretty Deadly pick up the victory. And yeah, kind of a shorter match than I was expecting, but we did get some post-match stuff when Lee attacked Hayes after the match and chased him backstage before Von Wagner attacked Braun. Seems like that's next feud and took him down. Apollo Crews was watching from the lockers and JD McDonough came in to tell him that his version of being the top guy in NXT won't come to pass before the show went off the air. But yeah, short match than I was expecting, but chaos at the end, to be honest, and setting up the next angles in NXT. So yeah, no issues with it. I'll give it a 7 out of 10 overall. So yeah, good for closing segment, I suppose. Overall, NXT this week gets a 6 out of 10 from me. Yeah, I thought it was a decent episode of NXT this week. There's some bits in there that were really good, some bits that maybe I wasn't quite as in favour of. Yeah, a bit of weird booking, but on the whole, still enough show, kind of laying down the foundations at the moment for the next few months of NXT before the next paper, I suppose. So yeah, on the whole, I'll give it a 6 out of 10. But anyway, guys, that's it for you. Thanks very much for watching. Remember to like, share, subscribe, leave thoughts, comments down below, and follow on this show for daily wrestling news and subscribe to the channel. It's greatly appreciated. Thanks very much for watching. Peace out.